Hello and welcome to this video. Today I want to talk to you about how to grow a business and actually profit, because profit is actually key here, right? You can grow a business, but without profit, what are you? You're just a charity at that point. So I want to talk to you today about how to do both of those things. It is possible. Now, if you're new around here, if you don't know who I am, I'm just going to do a little quick introduction here. We are Matterhorn Business Development. We specialize in helping small businesses grow while making a profit and having fun doing it. So this is me, my brother Neil, and our late founder and father, Greg Winteregg. If you are on our YouTube channel, you may have seen some videos already from all three of us. We're super grateful to have an extensive library of Dr. Winteregg's videos on our channel as well before he passed. When he passed away in 2021, I took over as CEO, and I'm the main mentor here at Matterhorn, as well as the Certified Profit First Professional here at Matterhorn. So a lot of the clients I talk to, or a lot of prospects, look like this. Your business is growing, but you still don't have any money, or you don't know where the money is going. Money comes in, money comes out, and at the end of the day, you're still struggling to pay your personal bills, and you don't really understand how that happens. Maybe you aren't sure of where your business is going or what steps you need to take to actually reach your goals. As a business owner, you can be pulled in so many directions at one time. There's so many different paths to take, so many ways that you could go about reaching the goals you want to reach. How do you know which way is the best way to go? How do you know which marketing strategy is the right strategy for you? And unfortunately, you may also be feeling trapped by your business with no real solution to reaching profit and actual financial freedom. Look, we got into business to create more freedom, right? We wanted flexibility in our schedule. We wanted to be able to spend time with our families. We wanted to be able to, not have a cap on our earnings and be able to have that financial freedom. But unfortunately, what happens to a lot of business owners is once they get in the business and there's all of these variables and all of these things, and it's so much more than just being good at the thing that you're doing or selling, most owners start to feel trapped, and they could actually just make more money by going and working for someone else. And that is not what I want to see. I'm here to free you from that trap. Like I said, you probably started your business to have freedom, to have flexibility, to be in control of your schedule. And the key here is you probably are stuck working in your business instead of on your business. I'm sure you've heard that phrase before. That is what we're all going for. Oh my goodness. But what we really want, like I said, is to be working on your business. And so on top of that, you also have no idea where your money is going, right? So those are just two things that do not make a good combination. So if you're wondering how to create a successful business while having profit, time, and the freedom you want, stay tuned. That's what we're going to talk about here. And I want to show you how to achieve these things with less stress and more fun. Again, if you don't know us, we are an unserious bunch around here. We make everything a game. We want to have fun, and business is a game, and it should be fun. If you're not having fun, then there's something wrong that we need to correct. So this is just an example of someone we worked with. This is a medical doctor, which again can be harder to grow revenue and profits because of the restrictions of insurance. But we started working with him in April, and by October he had his highest ever revenue month. You can see it climbing here, and he achieved 45% growth just in those 6 or so months there. And then we had Chris, the engineer. He had 125% growth in 4 months. These are these quarters that these months that we started working with him in 2020. I still work with Chris today. I talk to him on a quarterly basis now. And this month, or this quarter, him and his wife had their highest ever quarter. They've just been growing and growing ever since we've been working together. This was originally a side hustle for Chris. He had a day job working for someone else as an engineer and then had his own jobs on the side. And last year, Chris was able to quit his day job, and now their family is fully supported from his own engineering company. This is Kaylin. She's an agency owner. She went from a graphic designer to an agency owner. Actually, when she first started working with Matterhorn, she was a little confused on where to go. You know, I could add print services, I could add website services, I could do just branding, I could do one-off gigs, and there were so many paths for her to take, as well as the financial side of things and figuring out how much to actually pay herself. So this is a cool text message where she was telling me that with her profit account that we set up together, she was able to buy a new Mac, which is very important for a graphic designer. So that was a really cool win to have. I show you all of this just to show that it is possible. These are some of the industries we've served, over 40 industries. I'm trying to move my face out of the way so you can see here. So the thing here is that if you're watching this, you're probably really good at what you do. You may even fall into one of these industries here, and I'm sure that you have a good product or service, but maybe you don't quite understand the business side of things. You may be a really great lawyer, or you may have a really amazing e-commerce product that's growing and growing and you've got your ads figured out, but what about staffing? How do you go about hiring? How do you manage the money profitably? How do you handle the business side of things? That is what we are experts here at Matterhorn. I'm not going to tell you how to be a painter, how to do PR, how to be a pressure washer. I'm going to show you how to turn those skills and services into an actually profitable business. All right, so I'm going to go over what you're really here for, and this is our 3-part framework, and this is how you actually grow your business and make a profit. So the first part of this is the 4 pillars of business success. So every business has these 4 pillars. Every business needs to sell, first of all. If you aren't able to sell, your business will not survive. It is the lifeblood of the business. Obviously, that is where revenue comes in. So a business needs to be able to sell its product or service. Then it needs to deliver what was sold. And then it needs to get new customers to keep selling and delivering to. And this is a constant cycle going. And then the 4th pillar is management, and that's what keeps the whole engine together. So this is your HR, your finance, your legal, your future vision, the future goal making and strategic planning. Those all fall under management. Now, as a business owner, you may have your hands in all of these pillars, and that's usually what I see, and usually why I see business owners getting kind of torn in all directions, not sure where to go. So this alone of just siloing your tasks and your functions into these 4 pillars, this alone will help you get more organized and understand what parts of your business need to be worked on. So with these pillars, you gain knowledge, control, and therefore increased income. Like I said, you now are going to understand what area of your business needs help, or maybe what area you're lacking skills in, and what area is breaking down or not working. And by fixing that pillar, you're going to be able to increase your income. So for example, let's say you're really great at selling and your customers are super happy, but you're just not getting new customers. Okay, something is wrong with your marketing strategy. You need to try something else with your marketing strategy. Or a lot of people who come to me, they have this part of the cycle going great. Their marketing's good, their selling's good, their delivery's good, but it's the management. There's things slipping through the cracks. They have a high overturn of employees because they don't know how to hire properly. They aren't able to pay themselves still. Even though this is all nailed down, they still can't pay themselves because they're not managing the cash correctly. So by knowing these 4 pillars, you're going to be able to know what needs to be fixed, what's working, what's not working. And then without these pillars, the business controls you. you have higher stress, and you're working harder for less. I had a client once who was making less than his employees. That's not how it should be. I'm not saying that everyone should be driving a Maserati and their employees should be impoverished, but it doesn't make sense for a business owner to make less than their employees, right? And part of it was because he didn't know these pillars. He didn't know, he was just trying to put out fires every day and couldn't sit down and organize what he needed to do into these 4 pillars, and therefore didn't understand what part of his business really needed work. Okay, so the next part of this is the Fun at Work process. So this is a book by our founder, Greg Winteregg, Fun at Work. I suggest you go buy that, whether you finish this video or not. This is a great book with a free workbook that goes along with it. And it's kind of like Greg's entrepreneurial autobiography, but within the book, he actually lays out a specific process that you can go through and apply in your business. So that's what we use as a foundation here at Matterhorn when I'm working with clients. And that process is this pyramid here. So it all starts with your basic purpose. Your basic purpose is, some people call it the mission statement, the why, whatever it may be. It's who you're serving, who you're helping, and how you're helping them. The basic purpose of the business isn't so that you can buy a Ferrari and sip Mai Tais on the beach. That may be a result, and if you get to that result, good for you. It's not, the basic purpose of the business isn't even so you can support your family. Look, I've been there too. I have a family to support, but that's not the purpose of the business. That may be a result. The purpose is who you are helping and how you are helping them. And this purpose becomes a guiding light for the rest of the decisions that you make within the business. Does this decision actually help and contribute to the purpose, or is it a detour? Are you going off on a different path just because you're chasing that dollar or that security from somewhere else? The next thing is strategic planning. So this is when you take each of those 4 pillars I went over with you and you make an overarching plan of how you're going to tackle each pillar. So with sales, we're going to start doing a sales training program with our sales rep to increase their closing rate. That's a strategic plan. That's just kind of the overall idea. A marketing plan could be start doing cold email outreach to get more clients. These are just broad plans. The next component is an action plan, which is the detailed step of how you're going to do that. Okay, you're going to start a cold email campaign. You've got to get the software to run the campaign. You've got to get the email domains to run the campaign. You've got to get the list of prospects you're going to be emailing. You got to write the emails. You got to do this. There's a lot of steps, right? And they need to be written out and followed. And again, this is how you get organized and make sure you're actually getting done the right things that you need to get done in the business. And you can also delegate from here. This is just really how you organize and get clear on where you're going. The final component of this is results. So how do we know if what we're doing is working or not working? We need to monitor the results. This is what some people call KPIs, statistics. You need data to refer to so that you are making decisions based off of facts and not just feelings within your business. So with this process, it's giving you a focused direction. It's self-correcting because anytime you create a strategic plan and you see the results are going down, it's not working, okay, you go back and you create a new strategic plan. This gives you a guide to success that you yourself are creating. You are creating this plan, you are following the plan, and you are able to see when something isn't working and correct it. Without this process, you're running around, there's too much trial and error, you're trying this and it doesn't work, and then you try this and then you try this, and you're in sales and delivery, and then you're in management, and it gets to be all over the place, right? You're uncertain, and most of the time there's a lot of wasted time sitting, thinking, trying to decide what the next step is, if you should do the next step. This gives you a clear path to follow. The final component of this is profit first. So this is another book that we use called Profit First by Mike Michalowicz. I cannot recommend it enough. What my dad and I found is we were helping businesses grow, and we had a client once who grew from $600,000 in a year to the next year was at $800,000. And we said, wow, congratulations. That's so exciting. Good job. And he said, yeah, but I still don't have any money. And we were like, oh man, what? That's not right. So we had a friend recommend this book to us. We read it, ended up getting certified. I have an extensive background in finances, so it really aligned for me to learn this system. So long story short, this is the profit side of things and how you're actually going to make sure you are profitable. And this is going to be just the 3-minute rundown of this program. We have a whole playlist about this that you can learn more about it, but this is just kind of the big overview of the system. So most of the time, well, all the time, a profit and loss, what your taxes are based off of, what general accounting practices are, is this formula. Sales minus expenses equals profit. So if you've ever seen your profit and loss, and at the bottom it says you profited $50,000, and you're like, wow, that's great. But then you look at your bank account and you're like, where is it? Does that sound familiar at all? That's because this is a broken formula. So what Profit First does is it actually flips this formula. Sales minus profit equals expenses. So instead of spending all your money first and then at the end of the day hoping you have some pennies left over for yourself, you actually set aside your profit first and you run the business with the expenses that are left over. And how this works is by setting up your money and allocating into different bank accounts. And then you have these buckets and you can clearly see what money is meant for what purpose. So this starts with an income account where all your deposits go into it. That's its only purpose, is to receive all incoming deposits. Because what happens is when you have only one bank account and all of your money is coming in and out of it, cool, you got a $10,000 check for a project. Let's go buy a new computer. I can finally afford that new marketing plan I wanted to do. Boom, the next day that $10,000 is already spent. But you didn't factor in paying yourself, setting aside money for taxes, setting aside money for profit, right? So that's why we have these separate bank accounts. It starts with the income account, then a percentage of the money goes into a profit account first. Then the next is an owner's pay account to make sure that you are getting paid a regular pay. So not just taking distributions willy-nilly when you need it. Oh, my mortgage is due, I need to take a distribution. Oh, I need to buy some groceries, I need to take a distribution. None of that anymore. You're going to get on a regular scheduled salary, whether that's regular draws or W-2 pay, I don't care. It's all going to come from this owner's pay account and ensure that you are receiving money regularly as the owner. The next account is the tax account. We all know we need to set aside for taxes. Have you ever wanted to throw up when you got your tax bill at the end of the quarter or the end of the year? This account is what's going to save you. This is going to build up what you need, and then when that tax bill comes, there's no worries because it's already covered. And then finally, the last account, the final account, is operating expenses. That's how you're going to pay your rent, your marketing, your employees, everything else. And what this does is it actually leads to innovation in your spending. Once you've allocated to these different accounts, you only have, maybe out of that $10,000, you now only have $5,000. And you need to figure out how to do what you wanted to do with only $5,000 instead of $10,000. So, you needed a new computer, but your buddy's actually selling his for cheap and you can buy it from him. Or you wanted to do some marketing and maybe you can't hire the person that's $2,000 a month, but you can purchase a course and learn how to do it yourself. Whatever it may be, you start thinking of different solutions rather than just writing checks to solve every problem. So with Profit First, like I said, you're going to get consistent owner's pay. You get your taxes paid on time and without stress, and you have total control over your cash, and there's no more guessing of if you can't afford something or not. Without Profit First, you probably already have inconsistent pay. Maybe you're behind on taxes and possibly constantly stressed about money. It's very rare that I work with someone who isn't stressed about money, unfortunately. So each of these pieces of the framework is so powerful, but combined, that's when you are on the true route to true financial freedom. So you need each of these pieces to reach your goals and to actually achieve financial freedom. But there is one more thing you need above those components. You need an experienced guide who has traveled the path you are on. So, for example, we have kind of a climbing theme going on here at Matterhorn, right? So we say you're climbing a mountain, right? The top of that mountain is the summit. That's the vision. That's where you want to go. I want to have a multi-million-dollar company being run by someone else. I want to be able to take a passive check from it, or I want to build up this company and sell it and then go retire and ride into the sunset. Whatever these visions are for the summit of your mountain. Right now, you're at base camp. You're at the bottom of the mountain. So you need someone who's traveled that mountain before. They've said, no, do not go down that path. It just ends in broken ankles. You want to go up this path. This path is the easier route to the top of the mountain. Without a knowledgeable guide, you could have all of these pieces of the framework and still not reach your destination. So you can go buy these books, and I think you should. Go buy Fun at Work. Go buy Profit First. But those books aren't going to be able to tell you how to adapt things for your specific situation and what's happening in your specific situation. I just said it again. But you need somebody who has been there and has seen it to be able to tell you that, hey, we need to tweak this for you. This is the path you should take. Some of my clients take this path. Some of my clients take that path. You need someone who can actually guide you. This is not an afterthought. If you don't have the guidance to implement the framework, you will be working too hard for too little result. And you probably won't ever get that result because there isn't someone holding you accountable and helping you show up and do those hard things that need to get done to actually make the change and reach the goals that your business needs to reach. If you don't have someone to help you, you will never be certain you are going in the right direction. Have you ever done that where I try something and it doesn't work, so then you try something else and then you have 5 different options of where you could go and you're not sure which is going to be the right option? Having someone who has been there, who has done and seen that, really helps give you that certainty. So if you don't have all of these pieces, it's kind of like having a car with flat tires. You can get down the road, but you're going to be dragging that car along. It's going to take you a lot longer, a lot more energy, rather than if you had those nice inflated tires to help ease you down the road. So what you need is you need the framework, but you also need a guide and a community to support you. Look, being a business owner can be really lonely. Even if you're a husband and wife team, which I work with a lot of husband and wife teams, but no one else understands, right? I know even for myself, I have some friends who are entrepreneurs, but no one really, if they aren't, they don't understand what I'm going through, what it's like to build a business, to be responsible for making payroll and feeding other families. No one gets that like a community of other business owners and people who have been there and done that before. So sometimes you might get stuck. Which way should I go? Should I go this way? Should I go that way? And maybe this is what your income and expenses are looking like. You can see here, income rising and expenses are rising at the same rate. Look, I'm working with a company now doing $3 million in revenue, and they are in the red. They are not profitable. So more revenue does not mean more profit for you as the owner or more profit to expand. This is not what I want to see, but unfortunately it happens a lot. The more money that's there, the more easy it is to spend it. Maybe your income is like this because you're in fight or flight mode. You can see this month, oh crap, we got to run around, sell some jobs. Then you sell some jobs, you're busy delivering them. I got to sell some more jobs. You go sell some more jobs, but then you're busy delivering them and you're on this roller coaster of income. This is what we want. We want the income to be going up, and the expenses may go up. You might have to hire people as you grow. That's very normal, but not at same rate as what we saw before, right? So it actually isn't difficult to grow a profitable business. You just haven't had the tools up until now. As I said before, you're probably really great at what you do, but maybe you just haven't had that business knowledge up until now. It's not your fault. You just need some tools in your toolbox. So this seems like a lot. How do you do all this? How do you actually implement all of this? So I'm going to put all of these pieces together. We've got our 4 pillars of business basics, right? And then we've got our pyramid. So the way the pyramid works, just to review, you've got your basic purpose. Then you've got your strategic plan. So what you do is you're going to take whichever pillar here needs the most help, and you create a strategic plan. So are we going to go over the wall, under the wall, or through the wall? How are we going to tackle this issue? And then from there, you make an action plan. Okay, we're gonna go over the wall. So we need a permit. We need to hire a couple more people. We need a new ladder. We need some hard hats, whatever it may be. These are the exact steps of how you're going to execute going over the wall. And then, as I said before, if you go over the wall and it doesn't work, all right, now we're going to try going under the wall. How's that going to go, right? So this is why this is a self-correcting system. This is all business really is pivoting and adapting to new situations and finding what works for you in your business. So after strategic and action planning, we need to monitor results. So we need the data to know what's working, what's not working, why are sales down, is the marketing working or not working? We need this data to make decisions based on facts and not just your emotions or desperation or what you feel like is happening. You need hard numbers to know what is or isn't working. Now, with Profit First, this is how you can become instantly profitable by implementing this system. So I'm not going to get too far into this. This is a grid of the ideal percentages per these different bank accounts that I laid out for you. So for $0 to $250,000 a year, 5% in a profit account, 50% going to the owner, 15% in the tax account, and 30% OPEX, operating expenses, called OPEX. Now, the reason why owner's comp is so high here is typically in this type of business, the owner is still the one doing the majority of the work. So, for example, if you were like a bookkeeping firm or a CPA or something, if you're in this range, you're probably the one still doing the majority of the bookkeeping or tax prep, and therefore you're taking more of the compensation. And then as your business grows and you're adding on employees, OPEX gradually gets bigger, your compensation goes down as you're further and further removed from the business. But hey, over here, you're getting about 20% of $10 million. So that's not bad, right? Okay, so if you look at this, $10,000 a month in monthly income, these percentages would look like $500 in the profit account, $5,000 in owner's pay, $1,500 in the tax account, and $3,000 to spend on other expenses. So this can't be done overnight necessarily. But that is where I come in as a Profit First professional, is I help you figure out how to gradually get to this ideal situation for your income. But you can immediately start putting something aside into profit. That's how you make instant profit, is you start putting something aside right away. If you take anything from this video, just go open an account and start setting aside a percentage, and do not touch it until the end of the quarter when you can take a distribution. So that's how all 3 of these pieces work together. Again, Just these two, the fun at work process and the 4 pillars, that's going to help you grow. But without the profit first aspect, you might end up like one of those other graphs where you're growing and your expenses are growing just as much. So with our help and guidance, we will help you pick the right path for you and your business. I might not be an expert in your industry, but as you saw from the list earlier, I've worked with over 40 industries. I've seen and heard it all. And most people have the same problems, even though they're in a different industry. They all have problems hiring. They all have problems with employees. They all have problems with pricing and profitability. I hear the same situations from clients in very different industries. So this is a client, Laura, who is in the transportation business. She said, my biggest challenge was allocating money accurately so that we can consistently pay ourselves a salary. Paying us was always last after the expenses. Working with Abby helped me realize that paying myself first was key. So we started with profit first. You can kind of choose which part of this area you need the most help with. With Laura, we started with profit first, and it really did give her that clarity of where her money was going, what she can decide to pay off or not pay off. And since then, they've had their highest ever year last year, the highest ever month recently, and they've been able to pay down debt and hire more drivers. This is Chris, who I mentioned earlier. So just as an example, we started with management with him. So you could start with sales or marketing or whatever, but his focus was management, on how to actually manage the business to be more efficient, especially since it was a side job for him. And that's one of the main reasons we were able to grow so quickly. So just to recap, you learned that in order to achieve financial freedom and have the flexibility to do what you love, you must have these things in place. You need a community, you need a guide, you need someone who's been there before, plus the framework. These are the steps, and this is the support that you need to complete these steps. This is what we want. I want you to be, usually this is a little animated guy moving around, but and he looks like he's having a lot of fun. You need to have a clear direction of where you're going. And we want to see this. We want your income going up, and we want your expenses staying under control and not growing too out of hand. So in order to reach your financial goals, you must have all 4 of these pieces. So we could make a whole program for each piece of this framework. I could sell it piece by piece to you, plus our one-on-one mentoring, plus this, but I don't want you to have to piece it all together like that. That's why we created Adventure to Profit. Now, if you've been around our channel, you may have seen us mention Adventure to Profit before, but this is actually a new, upgraded, and improved version of Adventure to Profit. We've already been working with business owners in this program and getting great results, but I really wanted to take it up a notch, do some upgrades, and I'm going to talk about that here a little bit. Now, there is no other program out there that's going to give you the tools to not only grow your business, but also build a profitable cash management system and give you personal mentorship and feedback. There's also no other program out there that is making this accessible for anyone at any level. Now, I want to talk about this because this is one of the big changes in Adventure to Profit this time around. My mindset behind this was, I recently sold a program to someone for $10,000, which was valid. It was one-on-one mentoring. And I was like, man, I could just do a couple of these every month and I'm set. Because, I want freedom too. I have a family that I want to spend time with and be able to spend extra time with my kids and all of that. So that would be a great deal, right? Just make a couple sales every month, talk to a couple people. But then when I was thinking about that, it made me really sad because I knew that there were past clients of mine who never would have been able to get my help if that was the only thing I offered. And I also know that there's 65,000 subscribers on this channel and not all of them can afford that. So I really wanted to do something that was going to help anyone at any level. You can still access me one-on-one. You can access a group coaching, but I wanted kind of that DIY route where anyone could come in, get this content, apply it, and see wins and see success. So these are the different levels of membership in Adventure to Profit. So this is what I kind of changed around recently so that anyone could come in to Adventure to Profit and, like I said, have access to this content, apply it, and get results. So our Explorer tier, which you can see here, you get access to all of the self-study modules. There's going to be new trainings released every month, and you get to be a part of an incredible community of other business owners with the Matterhorn team in comments if you have questions or want to get feedback on something. Then our Trailblazer package, that's where you get all of that, but you also get a weekly group coaching session. Now, these are amazing because there's so much to be learned from other people's questions, and these calls are where we can really dive deep into your specific situation or topics that may not be covered in the course, because everyone has their own nuanced questions, their own situations, and even though I try to make the course as jam-packed as possible, there may be things that I've missed or haven't covered yet, and that's what we can address on these calls. You also get 2 one-on-one calls throughout your time in the Trailblazer program, where when you reach certain milestones within the program, you get to have a one-on-one call with me or someone on the team to help you implement further for your specific situation. Now, Elite Access, this is for my one-on-one clients. So my one-on-one clients have access to anything they want. They get access to the Adventure Profit community, the training. They can come to the weekly group calls if they wanted to. But the main thing here is we're having one-on-one calls together at least twice a month. These are completely custom. There is no cookie cutter thing that I do with every single client. I'm the one doing the profit assessment for you for your Profit First implementation and creating your rollout plan for you. Whereas in the other packages here, you're going to be doing that on your own. And I have video trainings for you on how you're going to do that. And then, of course, you have additional email support between calls. So those calls are, scheduled, but if you need me outside of those calls, you do still have access. So that it's not just okay, bye, see you in 2 weeks, and it's crickets. We're in touch all the time when we need to be. So this was the thing for me, is I really wanted to make this accessible to these different tiers of people. I'm sure that there are marketing experts out there who tell me I'm wrong and I need to niche down or just go for high ticket or just go for a bunch of low ticket, but I have served people at all of these tiers, and I want to continue serving people at all these tiers. And here at Matterhorn, we want to help people as much as possible, and I really felt like this was the best way to do that. Now, I don't have pricing on this slide just because that may be subject to change, and I want this video to be able to last a long time. So if you click the link below, you will see the actual pricing. But let's get into the nitty gritty here. Let's get into the details. What does all of this actually look like? So first of all, you're going to get video lessons and assignments. This also includes templates, workbooks, worksheets, things to fill out so that you can actually apply the information. You're not just going to go in here and watch a bunch of videos. You're going to go and actually take action after you watch these videos. This is what some of the courses look like. We've got Business Basics over here. This is kind of that, this is where we create your roadmap, which is the pyramid that I went over. So your basic purpose, what kind of strategic plans, action plans are you going to put in place? This is really where you're going to get direction in your business. So if you feel like you could go 6 different paths right now, or you're not really sure what the correct next step is, this is where we figure that out. Pricing for profit. We want to make sure, obviously, that you're actually profitable at your current pricing. We've got some really cool tools in here that actually show you, hey, if I increase my pricing by this much, what happens if I lose customers? Because I know that's like a big fear of people when it comes to increasing prices. So it actually shows you could increase your price and lose this many customers and still make the same amount of money. Really cool templates in that module. We have a monitoring results module because that's obviously how we're going to know whether we're winning or losing. This is going to help you make decisions based off of data and facts instead of just feelings. Characteristics of a CEO. This is how you go from just being a doer, someone who does something, to actually being the owner and being the CEO of the business, and kind of what kind of mindset comes along with that, because it is really different than just delivering the service or creating the product. It's a bit of a shift that has to be made. We've got a couple great sales courses here: how to sell anything, how to control your income. If you are doing the sales in your business or really any sort of customer relationship, this one is great for that. And how to control your income goes over how to know what leads to go after, what leads should you back off on, what part of your sales process needs help, what part of your sales process are you doing really well. So that's really great for nailing down your sales process and increasing your close rate. We next have a guest experts module, which I'm looking forward to add to. We've already got about 6 trainings in there with guest experts on print mail, SEO, leadership, some really great topics. So we're going to continue adding to that. And then, of course, we have a Profit First module. So this is where you're going to implement Profit First. I walk you through it step by step, how you're going to do the analysis, how to figure out what percentages are right for you, how to know what bank to open your bank accounts at. This is our biggest course out of all of them. So there's a lot of information to make sure that you are able to implement Profit First from beginning to end. All right, so there are, of course, like I said, templates. So as I was describing, we've got like a pricing spreadsheet here. We've got a workbook in the sales courses. We've got a roadmap template. So we want to make sure that you're able to actually implement what you're going to be learning in this program. And like I said, not just sitting there watching a bunch of videos. This is a program for action takers. So if you're ready to take action, then we are giving you the tools to do that. We have the private community. I'm so excited for this. I love the community aspect where you are in a group with other business owners who understand what's going on, what you're going through. They've been there as well, or maybe they're going through the same thing right now and they're just there for moral support. But this is where you can ask questions in between calls, no matter what tier of membership you're on. And this is where you can get feedback or ask questions to other members of the community. So for our Trailblazer and Up packages, so if you sign up for that with the group coaching, you get special feedback calls, which means that you can submit your templates, your spreadsheets, your workbooks, whatever you want, you can submit for feedback, and you get a recorded video message sent right directly to you with feedback for that particular item. So in the Trailblazer package, even when you are going through the course material, we're still there holding your hand a little bit and helping guide you through that process. And then you, of course, get the weekly group mentoring calls, which I absolutely love. As I said, it's so beneficial to be on a call with other members, hear their questions, hear their struggles. Sometimes someone asks a question of something that you're about to run into. So once you run into it, you already know what to do because you were on the call and you heard the answers. So again, this is for the Trailblazer package and Up. So what could you get out of joining Adventure to Profit? These are just some of the things. So one Profit First distribution could mean a 4-figure check for yourself at the end of the quarter. I have some clients, obviously, in a certain revenue range, but they're taking home 5-figure profit distributions at the end of each quarter consistently. Implementing our sales strategies, as I said, could raise your close rate by 20% at least. And even if you just come in and focus on those 4 pillars of business basics, you can double your income with that alone. So there are so many valuable strategies, and we've put them all in one place for you. So I want to ask you, how much is it costing you to not be in control of your finances and your future? By waiting, how much is that costing you? Because I hear that a lot. Well, I've got to wait until I hit this point. I've got to wait until I have more time. I've got to wait until I have more money. Okay, you're never going to have enough time and money. Something always comes up. Something always comes up. The moment you gain an ounce of time or money, an expense comes up or some other priority comes up, unless you prioritize your growth and your control of your finances, nothing is ever going to change. This is Dorian. He's an artist and course creator, an amazing artist. He said, Abby and Greg helped me get a 10K course launch off the ground. They're not only business savvy, but they also have their hearts in the right place. It was a joy working with Matterhorn. So I included this because I did really want to show our heart, because I feel like that is where we are different than some other online course coaches or mentors or gurus or whoever on the internet. Is we do really care. I really care. And I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that you're winning. Really cool thing about Dorian was he actually had a day job and was doing this on the side. And while we were working together, he was able to replace his day job from the income of what we set up together for his course. So not saying that we specialize in courses directly, but all we did was implement the 4 pillars of business basics and applied it to his industry, and we were able to help him do this. This is Ross, a chiropractor. He was a one-on-one client that saw 55% growth over 7 months. I would say the biggest win that we've had since working with Matterhorn is we've had our biggest year financially than we've had in my 25 years of being a chiropractor. That has just been exciting for us. So those are some wins. Those are some results that we've seen with our clients. But let's talk about our values. Let's make sure we're a good fit together, because if you're going to be listening to me talk or Greg talk, he has the same values, I can assure you, or did. If you're going to be listening to us talk for hours on end, you probably want to make sure you actually like us and that we're going to align on how we see the world, right? So first of all, if you didn't know already, our motto here is, if you know us, you win. This means we are here to ensure that you succeed in this program in your business. I apply this to everything we do, even YouTube. When I make a YouTube video, I want to make sure it's as valuable as possible and that someone can take that information, and if they apply it and use it, they're going to win from it. So if you are part of our community, no matter what level of membership, we are here to make sure that you succeed in this game of business. Now, speaking of game of business, if it's not fun, we aren't doing it. We are not here to be ultra serious about business. We're going to make building your dream business an ideal life fun. Now, while it can take some hard work, we want to make it fun. So if you're going to be serious, if you're going to be negative the entire time and not be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel, if you are in a tunnel right now, then we might not be the group for you, because we're going to make this fun. This is a game. Business is just a game, just like life is just a game. So let's play it, and let's play it together and have fun while we're doing it. Now, we have the fun aspect, but we also value hard work. We're going to have fun, but it is also going to take hard work. This is not a magic pill that is going to give you an overnight transformation. You're going to need to have dedication and hard work to implement these strategies. You're going to have to mark off time in your calendar to dedicate to putting on your CEO hat and implementing what we're talking about in these materials. So if you're not ready to put in the time or make it happen, I suggest you should make it happen. But if you're not ready to put in hard work and you're satisfied with where you're at right now, you don't want to grow bigger, then this is not the program for you. So again, I would love to see you in our community, Adventure to Profit. All you have to do is click the link in the description box. I really want to see you there. I want to see you grow. I want to see you win. Let's just recap really quickly. If you sign up for the Trailblazer or higher package, you're going to get the weekly group mentoring calls. Everyone gets templates for implementation, on-demand video lessons. This is a typo, just ignore that. It's not on Facebook, but it is a private community. You get sales courses on top of everything else that I already discussed with you. So you get all of this all together in one program. So I know you might be asking some questions right now. Is this going to work for me? As I said earlier in this video, we have worked with over 40 industries, and the whole point of our program is that it's business basics that can apply to any industry. So I'm not an expert in your industry. I'm not going to tell you how to be a better HVAC person, or even I have a client who has me as their coach and then also has a coach who specializes in chiropractic. And when they talk about that, they're talking about deliverables, the actual flow line of the practice. And they have these cookie cutter, not saying that's a bad thing, but these cookie cutter strategies that work for all chiropractors. What we're doing here is we're implementing the business basics. I'm not going to teach you how to crack necks better. I'm going to teach you how to be a business owner. Another question I get a lot is, I have a business owner. Do we each need to pay to join? Business owners are included in your one-time payment. If you do have a business owner, partner, when you sign up, just send us an email. You'll get emails from us. Just hit reply and say, hey, can you add this person? And we'll add them into the program. So you get one business partner who can join in and go through the content with you. I hate numbers. Well, I have to do a lot of math to implement Profit First. So this may be hard for you to actually confront and get through, but I'm telling you, at the end of implementing Profit First, it's going to make your life so much easier. You aren't even going to have to worry about numbers at all. You just type it in a spreadsheet and it tells you what to do. That's going to be the end product here. So I've worked with several creatives. I'm a creative myself, but I'm also a numbers person, so I'm kind of an anomaly there. But I've worked with some creatives who are very creative and just are not numbers people. And I get it. There are just some people who aren't adept at that. They aren't naturally, that's not what they like to do. That's not what they want to do. But what I think is cool is Profit First makes it so that anyone can understand their numbers. So I will be here. I will help you through it. You're going to have to gather some data and put them into spreadsheets, but I will be here to walk you through every step of it. And by the end of it, you're going to have a well-oiled machine, and you're going to understand where your money should be going, where it's going now, how much you can pay yourself. Your bills will be covered, and it's just a magical system that is worth the work, the little bit of work you're going to have to put in to implement it. But if you hate numbers, I'm here for you. I tried to make this as easy as possible for you. All right, so this is another testimonial from someone. If I were to summarize our year with working with Matterhorn, I'd say it is business basics and their practical application. They will get you out of your comfort zone, be prepared, and expect great changes. There's a focus on removing bottlenecks and simplifying things to the core basics. So this is exactly what I've been talking about. You can see I'm very upfront. I deliver what I say I'm going to deliver. We're going to be talking about business basics. We're going to be talking about how to remove bottlenecks, how to simplify things, and part of that is giving the direction that I've been talking about. Like I said, you need a path to the summit. You need to know where you're going up the mountain and how you're going to get there. And a lot of that comes to business basics that some businesses just simply don't have in place because you were never told. No one ever told you that this is what you needed, and that is what we are here for. So again, please, I would love to see you join us. I want to help you grow your business. I want to help you take home more money and take care of your family. So click the button below, join us in Adventure to Profit. And if you have any questions, you're not sure which level of membership is right for you, or you just have other questions about the whole program that hasn't been answered here, feel free to book a call. I'll put that link below as well, and we can get on a call. I'll answer any questions you have, and we can make a plan for you together so that we can help grow your business, get you out of the day-to-day or whatever it is that your goal is for your business. I want to help you achieve that together. So click the button below to join today, and I will see you in the community.